And good evening, everybody. This is the second game of our doubleheader, part of the Warrior Classic. Indiana Tech taking on Olivet Nazarene. Indiana Tech 3-1, trying to get to 4-1. They did lose the opener to Huntington, but since their double-digit win against Georgetown, a Georgetown team that certainly looked really good, both on paper and when the Warriors played them, the Warriors have not lost. Rolled right over Miami Hamilton, and then they knocked off St. Xavier yesterday, and it looks like we're just about to have the announcement of the starting lineups first for, we'll see who they announce first, whether it'll be Olivet, Nazarene, or Indiana Tech. Now, Indiana Tech is in the road black uniforms. Olivet Nazarene is in the home white. So we'll see who they choose as home and away on the scoreboard. Do apologize in advance because we've got Indiana Tech as the visiting team on the scoreboard, even though this is their home court. That's just simply because they came out in black uniforms. And every now and then with these kind of showcases, these kind of tournaments, or whatever you want to call them, the home team will serve as the road team, so to speak, despite the fact that they're on their home court. Well, it's worth noting that Kyra Whitaker is coming off a game where she scored 21 points, actually 23 points, I believe, was the total, and hit 5 threes for the second game in a row, and we are underway from the Schaefer Center. Olivet Nazarene gets the first possession. That three comes up short from Jamie Finn, and it's Bethany Worm who rebounds it down low. Covington across the timeline. That's Erica Foy who gets it to fall, and Tech is on the board first with a 2-0 lead, and well, on the scoreboard they do have Tech marked as the home team, even though they're wearing the road black uniforms. Bet O'Neill feeds it inside. Floater off the glass, it's good, and it's 6-2 in favor of Olivet Nazarene. Foul. 3 ball is good. 8-5. Here's Madison Smith, feeds it inside, and a foul is called apparently against Olivet. Well, it looks like we've got our internet connection back as Kyra Whitaker comes down the floor. She goes for the step-back jumper and hits it. And Indiana Tech is within 1. 3 ball on the way. That's too strong. Down the floor for Whitaker, and a foul is called. And apologies, folks. We had to change our internet connection after that power surge was taking too long to get reconnected. But we are glad to be back with you now. We do have 6:35 and counting on the clock. I'll try to get that reset here in just a second. Putback is good, and a foul. Genevieve Decker puts it home, and Tech is up 9-8. With that, Indiana Tech takes the lead. It's not often you have 2 power surges in one game, but Decker's able to get the free throw to fall. And Indiana Tech goes up 10-8. Tech trying to improve their winning streak to 4 games after losing the opener to Huntington. A little backwards pass there to Demosthenes. And here's Katie Draper with the bounce pass into the paint for Caroline Bainey, and a jump ball. Inbound goes to Whitaker. Whitaker racing across the timeline, guarded by O'Neill. Whitaker leaves it off at the last second. Count the basket and a foul. Taylor Covington. How about the unselfishness by Whitaker? And while she scored 20-plus last night against St. Xavier, she still showed plenty of unselfishness in that game as Covington is able to knock down the free throw. This ball's out of bounds, back to the Tigers. Here come the Tigers, handoff to Demosthenes. Inside, and Bainey kicks it out. Demosthenes with a contested three. It's too strong. And a foul on the rebound attempt. A foul called on number 25, Caitlin Engel, senior out of Wapakoneta, Ohio. It's interesting, you've got Caitlin Engel and Katie Engel on this Olivet team. It would appear as though they're not related to each other. They both come from different hometowns. Caitlin comes from Wapakoneta, Ohio, and Katie Engel comes from Kenosha, Wisconsin. And they're both seniors. I think that was Foy. And check that, Corinne Smith with the jump shot. And it looks like we are back live. Just checking on the live stream there. Again, my apologies, folks. We've had several power surges. We've already had 2 during the game, and we had 1 before the game. So been trying to make sure that we're back streaming as well as trying to broadcast the game at the same time. This is Kendall Rawlison across the timeline. She's from Cedarburg, Wisconsin. We do know that the score is correct. 3 ball with 4 on the shot clock, no good. And Worm loses the ball. Who's got it? Bet O'Neill looks like she came up with it. That's a jump ball. And it will be Indiana Tech basketball on the alternating possession. Yeah, just check the stream again. Yeah, looks like we are back again on YouTube. Apologize if you had to deal with any buffering there. Sometimes that happens when the internet goes down. We did have to deal with that just there. Good run out, Genevieve Decker to the basket. Three ball, that's no good, and a board pulled down by the Tigers. Don't see a number 32 on my roster. This ball's out of bounds. Warriors take over. Actually, it was Olivia Dirks who got the bucket there for Olivet. And the free throw is good. Olivia Dirks completes the three-point play, and it's 20-15, Indiana Tech. The outlet and extra pass to Smith. Decker the assist, Smith the bucket. Good transition bucket there by the Warriors. And they go up 7 and nearly force a turnover. It might be a turnover. Battling for it. That's a jump ball. Possession arrow gives it. Apologize for some technical difficulties that we've been dealing with. I've had multiple power surges. We are back live for now. I'd like to say that we'll be back for the rest of the way, but who knows what'll happen. I don't want to be presumptuous, but we'll update you on the score. It is Indiana Tech leading 36-29, and we are in the second quarter. I'll get the scoreboard up here for you in just a second. We'll have to update that score for you as it's now 36-31. Olivet making a comeback. Indiana Tech was up big time. Again, we apologize for the delay. We've been trying to get this broadcast back live for you after those 3 power surges knocked out the internet here. We do have a connection right now. We hope to keep it the rest of the way. But here's a kick out to the top of the key. That's Covington for 3, and she splashes it home. Indiana Tech up by 7. as the Warriors try to go to 4-1 on the season. That is a long three that's off the mark. Erica Foy will come across the timeline. Try to get it to Burris, and it's
Indiana Tech foul, number 31, Corinne Smith. Olivet, Nazarene to the 2. Beth O'Neill to the free throw line to shoot 2.
Ben O'Neill at the line to shoot a couple of free throws. Clock winding down to 5. Whitaker gets it to Decker. Decker for 3, short. And that's going to be the end of the first half. 45-36. Beg your pardon, been trying to keep up with whether or not we're live on YouTube or not, as we've had so many power surges. We'll try to stay live the rest of the way. Back in just a moment here on this broadcast of Warrior Basketball.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior. Tech goes by many names. Business, fine art, forensic science. Some think it's just technical. But really, tech means everything. Scholarships, internships, championships. It's professors who make time for you one-on-one. It's putting everything on the line. It can be fierce. It can be fascinating. It can be awesome. Most important, it's believing in yourself and what you have to offer the world. Because at Indiana Tech, Warriors are prepared to lead a significant life.
You're busy. You expect to say no sometimes. But what you didn't expect was a chance to say yes to a college degree while keeping your life. Indiana Tech is now offering Chicago area students undergraduate and graduate degree opportunities taught online by experienced faculty who care. Learn more at one of the new Indiana Tech enrollment centers in Naperville or Wilmette.
I can turn this in early? Sure, whenever you're ready.
Embrace the unexpected at Indiana Tech.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that there aren't very many energy programs out there. When I researched all of the various programs recently, there are really only 2 or 3 accredited engineering programs.
I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada originally. I came out here to Indiana Tech to actually go for the energy engineering program because of its uniqueness and its ability to get hands-on with the materials I'm going to be using in the future.
Well, a few of the things I think that sets Indiana Tech apart is, number one, you have very small classes. You have very close relationships with your professors. When you have a class of 10 people, it's much easier to get to know the professor and get in contact with him than if you have a class of 30, 40, or 50. You're going to have the same professors for the majority of your classes. You're going to have the same classmates for the majority of your classes.
The more practical applications come in all the subsequent energy engineering classes. Heat transfers in a class that right after they're leaving the classroom, and the board is filled with calculus. So in order to understand a lot of these topics, they're going to need to understand the calculus there. Calculus is the study of the rate of change, how fast things change. And depending upon whether it's energy engineering, industrial engineering, or whatever, they're going to need to use that and apply that.
Professor Romary He stands out to me the most right now because when I first got here, I had to take calculus, Calc 1, Calc 2. And he's one of the professors that teaches it. And he was a very kind and helpful guy. And he did whatever he could to help us out. He was very funny, always had a way of creatively teaching calculus to us that not a whole lot of people can do. And I think that and how he did it is going to be something that's going to stick for me for a very long time.
The field work that Indiana Tech can provide here is, for example, we have a 10 kilowatt windmill that the students can work with. We have a geothermal system for a couple of the buildings for Utang-Sioux and for Zollner that uses geothermal principles to heat and cool the buildings in the summer and the winter.
The PV array system, training system that we have down here in the basement allows us to wire up the panels we have down in the basement to set it up as a off-the-grid system or a battery bank system, which helps us because we can see every component of the system actually intertwining and how they work together, which is something that may not be easily visible when you're on the job site in a career. So definitely my internship at Super Value Incorporated was a very, very beneficial program for me to be in. It was more based on the process and logistical side of engineering of my degree, not necessarily the design aspect. It helped me really learn how the most efficient way to do a task and some of the boundaries that come with trying to make things more efficient.
One of the things that we've been very fortunate here at Indiana Tech is that we've had a grant through AEP to help subsidize our students in taking some of the various trips in spring break. Over the last 4 years, I have taken, along with a couple of other chaperones, I've taken almost a couple of dozen students to a trip to Germany and Switzerland that focused on renewable energy. We've gone to Iceland last year, focusing on geothermal energy, and we just recently returned from a trip to Costa Rica.
Just last year, I went to Iceland with a couple of our peers, not even just energy engineers, but a couple of other engineering majors went along with us. And for me, that was the highlight of my college time. I mean, we learned a lot about like geothermal systems and how they converted to a country of basically like ran just by geothermal. But it wasn't just learning about that, it was also learning about their culture as well, you know, and the past and the history and where they plan to go in their future. And all those things combined, I think, really kind of defines my experience here in Indiana Tech.
You can be the smartest engineer in the world, but if you cannot talk to or work with other engineers and non-engineers, it's very hard to get anything done. I try to teach my students that while you may not like writing, it's going to be a part of the job. You have to communicate. If you're doing experiments or testing hardware in the lab, you need to write it up so that other people know what you did, and the customer may want to know what are the results of that test.
Something I would remember most about the faculty would be just the one-on-one aspect of it and how open they are to hearing your problems and concerns and willing to assist you. Indiana Tech, with the class sizes being so small, you really get that one-on-one talking, everyday type relationship with your advisors and your professors. And having that is key to success, I feel, because being able to communicate with them and actually get your problems and questions across is going to help clarify things for you while you're in classes in school, which is going to set you up for success.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our camera. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
Want to know what it means to be a warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a Warrior's shoes. You want to know what's possible at Indiana Tech? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior.
Halftime here at the Schaefer Center, and again, we do apologize for the technical difficulties. Had multiple power surges in that first half that knocked out the internet and had to scramble to get the stream back, and we do have it back for now, and we certainly hope that we'll have it back for the rest of the game. We can tell you the stats for the game so far. First for Olivet Nazarene, Olivia Dirks is the leading scorer for this game with 12 points. Caroline Bainey and Bet O'Neill each have 6 points apiece. Jamie Finn has 5. Olivia Demosthenes has 4. That's for Olivet Nazarene. Meanwhile, for Indiana Tech, and I believe I do have to make a quick change here. It's 45-38, not 36. But Indiana Tech, their leading scorer is no surprise here, Kyra Whitaker with 14 points. She's 2 for 4 from beyond the arc. Genevieve Decker has 10 points, Taylor Covington with 8, Erica Foy with 6, and Corinne Smith with 4. Bethany Worm also with 3. Her lone basket, of course, was a three-pointer. So Indiana Tech with a 45-38 lead. Indiana Tech trying to get to 4-1 on the season. We got a whole nother half to play, and we hope that you'll get to see all of it. We hope so. Indiana Tech and Olivet Nazarene at halftime. Back in just a matter of moments here on this broadcast of Warrior Basketball, brought to you by SummitCitySports.com.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior. Want to know what it means to be a Warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a Warrior's shoes.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our camera. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
From the first day, I felt very welcome at Indiana Tech.
I just really enjoy the classes and the vibe I get from all the other athletes and just the students here. Everybody's cool and everybody gets along really well.
I'm currently a senior, and since my freshman year, student life activities have really grown throughout campus, and there's so many ways that you can meet new people. You can go bowling, you can watch movies, and it's just really important to get involved on campus.
We have intramurals, anything from billiards to basketball. It's made student life very enjoyable.
I love Fort Wayne because there's always something going on, like festivals. I walk a bunch of the trails here locally. There's great restaurants. There's always something fun to do. You can never be bored here in Fort Wayne.
The school spirit at Indiana Tech is epic. It's everything. We had our first annual hockey game not too long ago. Everybody showed up, face paint, cowbells, Trojan hats, lawn gnomes. It was amazing. It makes it so worthwhile to be a Warrior. Go Warriors.
You want to know what's possible at Indiana Tech? Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior.
45-38 in favor of Indiana Tech. Got a minute left to go before the second half starts. The rebounding battle's been pretty even in this game. However, Olivet Nazarene has out-rebounded Indiana Tech for the game as a whole, 24-21. But on the offensive end, the Tigers have outboarded the Warriors 14-2. Now, the Warriors have been able to get more defensive rebounds, 19-10, but the offensive boards could very well play dividends for Olivet Nazarene if that trend continues in the second half. It looks like we are just about ready for the start of the second half. Third quarter coming your way in just a moment. And again, we hope to stay with you the rest of this game as Indiana Tech is trying to get to trying to get to 4-1 on the season and win a third straight game. Beg your pardon, to be a fourth straight win if they were to get the W today. Inbound to Demosthenes to start the third quarter. Entry pass inside, that's to Caroline Bainey. Bainey goes up, could not put it in, but there's another offensive board for Bet O'Neill. And a jump ball, possession arrow gives it to Indiana Tech. So it may go as an offensive board in the end, but Indiana Tech gets the ball back because of going after the held ball situation. Little full court pressure put on by Olivet Nazarene. They used a lot of this last night against Rochester. But the Warriors will get across the timeline. Whitaker dribbling into traffic, and another jump ball. That'll give it back to the Tigers. Here are the Tigers across the timeline. Entry pass to Bainey. O'Neill, the floater off the glass, gets her own rebound. And another jump ball. One jump ball after another, and we're only 32 seconds into this second half. Genevieve Decker into the game, and it looks like the Tigers will press again. Covington finds Whitaker across the timeline. Whitaker wanted the catch and shoot. Instead, they go inside to Foy, and Foy has got the bucket. Good ball movement in the half-court offense for Indiana Tech, and that ball's poked away. Erica Foy has got the steal. Whitaker open for three, nails it. Third three of the game for Whitaker. Right off the steal, Whitaker cashes in. But again, the Tigers padding up the offensive rebounds. They've had two more this half. 16 for the game. Leaning in, that shot is short and tapped back out to Bethany Worm. Whitaker just barely able to grab the ball. Whitaker slows down, steps back, comes up short. Caroline Bainey with the rebound, and here is Demosthenes back across the timeline. Olivet Nazarene came back from 18 points down against Rochester last night. O'Neill long on the three. This game is all but over, even with Indiana Tech having this 12-point lead, as Decker is able to slow things down. She finds Worm. Curling is Whitaker. Worm has a good look and cashes in on it. And right away, a timeout is called by Olivet, and I'm told that that's their first of the game. Spent a lot of time offline because of the power surges in the first half, but let's take a look at what has recently transpired. Well, here's Erica Foy making a couple of nice plays on our Summit City Sports replay. First, she gets the bucket on the inside, and then after the inbound, Foy is going to be involved in what happens next. And there it is, just reaches that left arm out to get the steal. And that, of course, would lead to a made three ball by Kyra Whitaker. We'll show you that right now. And this is just off the turnover as Foy comes up with the steal. Warriors had a little trouble getting across the timeline, but they finally did, and apologies there, but that was Whitaker who knocked down the 3 ball. They get the ball inside. Cora fakes the shot. Back over to Cora. She was thinking about a 3. Good closeout, though, by Worm. Drive to the basket. Dirks puts it in. Whitaker across the timeline to Worm. Here's Decker. Tigers get back on defense. Long pass to Covington. Covington looking for the blow-by. Able to create some space, and now Foy leaning in. She'll draw the foul. And Erica Foy will go to the free throw line to shoot a couple. Subs will come into the game for the Tigers. And Foy is true on that first free throw. Two for 2 from the stripe for Erica Foy. Indiana Tech will play their conference opener this coming Wednesday. That'll be against Siena Heights. And then the men's basketball team will play Siena Heights. Women will play at 6, men will play at 8. Nice move by Kendall Rollison. Sophomore out of Cedarburg, Wisconsin. Warriors get the ball across the timeline. Here's Foy off the glass. Couldn't put it in. And here come the Tigers. Tigers fresh off an 18-point comeback last night against Rochester, and Demosthenes right from the free throw line. Whitaker makes the tough catch. She looks to get the ball across the timeline. Covington hands that one off to Decker. The feed inside. Foy, count it, and a foul. Erica Foy with the and one. Foy's making one play after another. Olivet Nazarene will send in a whole bunch of subs, and they did the same thing last night in the game against Rochester. And Foy's able to splash home the free throw. Corinne Smith will take the place of Foy off the free throw. And here come the Tigers across the timeline. This is Olivia Dirks. Offensive foul and illegal screen set by the Tigers. They call that one on Brooklyn Marshall. Kyra Whitaker gets the inbound. Tigers put on a little pressure. They did that so frequently against Rochester. Over to Covington. Back to Whitaker. Smith finds Worm. Decker fakes the pass, gives that one up to Worm. And Worm, was she fouled? I think so. They're going to say she was by Katie Draper. Ball into Decker. Lob inside, and there's a foul against the Warriors. They're going to call that one on Whitaker. Call that an illegal screen. Or was it Corinne Smith who was called for the foul? Might have been Smith. Decker actually went down on that play. Well, the announcement was 31. The official was just reminding the scorers table. I believe he was reminding them 31 committed the foul. A little shot fake there by the Tigers, and Cora backs it out. Cora up and under, no good. Put back too strong. And Worm has the rebound for the Warriors. Covington across the timeline with Cora guarding her. Wide open is Decker, and Decker puts it home. 60-44 in favor of the Warriors. Entry pass inside. Marshall spinning, left it short. Worms got the board. Double team, and they find Decker. Whitaker from the baseline hits the jumper. Whitaker having another outstanding performance. She's coming off back-to-back 20-plus point nights. She might have hit the 20-point mark for this game. I'll have to check on that later on the live stats as Whitaker catches the pass. It's tipped and stolen. Stolen by Smith. Turnover was created by Olivia Dirks. That three is off the mark, though, and a foul is called. Probably going to be an over-the-back call. Olivia Dirks called for the foul. Kyra Whitaker at the line. So Warriors have this 62-44 lead. In and out on the free throw. Now this 18-point deficit is exactly what Olivet Nazarene came back from last night against Rochester, a conference rival of Indiana Tech's. Rochester lost again today to St. Xavier. Whitaker gets it over 19 points, and by now she's definitely at 20 points or more. That's at least 5 points that she scored this half. Foul is called on the inside. On the drive to the basket. Going to call it on Juliana Burris. Good ball movement by the Tigers around the perimeter. Baseline drive, reverse, it's no good. The shot taken by Kendall Rollison. And that one is stolen away, thrown right to Bette O'Neill, and she's called for the offensive foul. The Tiger bench showing their displeasure. O'Neill got the steal, but then committed the foul. The Warriors will get it back. Now the officials are discussing, will there be a change in the call here? Jesse Biggs talking to the official at the scorer's table. Kyra Whitaker is waiting to check back into the game. And we'll see, is there a change in the call? I think the discussion is, was she inside the restricted area? And it's a blocking foul. Just heard the announcement. Jessie Biggs is beside herself with that call. And it's going to be free throws for Bette O'Neill. And O'Neill able to splash home the first one. And O'Neal goes 2 for 2. And now Whitaker will check into the game and give Juliana Burris a breather. We're still trying to get set, and now Lauren Glenn looks like she has something either for the officials or for players, but we're going to get a discussion at the scorer's table anyway. Well, the free throws have already been shot. And it looks like whatever it was, it's been resolved. Well, we've already had the foul, initially called an offensive foul, then changed to a blocking foul. So that discussion's already been had. The free throws have already been shot, too. Now the Warriors trying to beat the press. They do to Decker. Well, Decker helping them greatly with these press breaks. Whitaker was fouled on the 3. That looked pretty clear. Callista Hellberg wearing the number 32 today. Well, we'll look at this free throw after Whitaker, or look at this last play after Whitaker takes her first free throw. Her and the Warriors leading by 17 points, and the Tigers about to make a wholesale substitution, as they have done so often in this tournament as Whitaker knocks down the free throw. Here's another look at it. Looks like she landed on her with the right foot. Well, they give Whitaker 2 free throws. Initially, I thought she was fouled on a 3-point shot. Well, that might be worth another look, and we'll take one as a timeout has been called. It looked to me like she was behind the line. But she only gets 2 free throws. She does hit them both, and Indiana Tech has a 65-46 lead. Indiana Tech has taken the timeout here. Well, in the end, it's another impressive night for Kyra Whitaker. She came into this game having scored 20-plus points in back-to-back games, and we'll get to the official total here in just a second. Yet Whitaker looks like right at 20 points. Make that 22. 22 points for the game as the stats are being adjusted. 65-46 the score, and that's 3 straight games for Kyra Whitaker where she has scored 20-plus points. She's also had back-to-back games where she's hit 5 threes or more. Now, she's hit 3 of those tonight. Inbound to Demosthenes. Olivet Nazarene fell behind by 18 points last night to Rochester, but did not quit. They came all the way back and won it by 8. We expect that they won't quit again tonight, as I'm sure Indiana Tech knows full well. Lob inside to Brooklyn Marshall. She goes back out to Cora. Cora's 3 is good. Full court pressure by the Tigers. Covington's able to catch the pass. This pressure caused a lot of trouble for Rochester last night. Whitaker across the timeline. Extra pass. Foy able to gather. Couldn't put it in. Decker's got the board and the putback. Genevieve Decker, Johnny on the spot as Demosthenes' step-back jumper is no good. Comes out to Whitaker. Whitaker trying to beat the pack. 1-on-2, and Whitaker's got it. It was more like a 2-on-2. But Whitaker won the race nonetheless. That one gets away from Demosthenes. Worm's got it, and Worm will slow it down and let her teammates get back. Whitaker drives. Trying to leave it off for Foy. It's through her legs, and Demosthenes dives to the deck. Was that Foy who dove after it? No, I think that was Worm. Either way, it's a jump ball. Possession arrow gives it back to the Tigers. Kendall Rollison across the timeline. We didn't see her much in last night's game. The fake there by Hellberg, and that's out of bounds off the Tigers. Inbound to Covington. Covington across the timeline. Covington into the paint against two defenders, and she's fouled. They call the foul on Caitlin Engel, senior out of Wapakoneta, Ohio. Again, it's interesting, Caitlin Engel and Katie Engel both have very similar sounding names. As Covington hits the free throw, but they are from different hometowns, and they're both seniors, so I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that they are not related. Katie Engel from Kenosha, Wisconsin, and Caitlin Engel from Wapakoneta, Ohio. Here's Rollison down toward the paint. Her shot no good. Corinne Smith gets the rebound for the Warriors. Outlet to Decker. Driving to the basket. Got it. Got a roar from her sideline. Dirks trying to beat Covington. Foul is called. I think they're going to get Covington for the foul. Another wholesale substitution for the Tigers. We saw so much of this last night against Rochester. All the way through the game, and it's been all the same tonight as Lauren Glenn has some words for the referee. Entry pass inside. Tough shot by Bainey, and it's no good. Long outlet looking for Whitaker. She tracks it down, and she scores! Taylor Covington, like a quarterback, finds Whitaker. The only difference between basketball and football is even if the ball bounces, you can still pick it up. Erica Foy called for the foul here, and here's Caroline Bainey at the line. Well, we are pleased that we can be with you for the second half, because the first half we had several power surges that knocked out the internet and knocked us off our stream, but we are glad to be back for now, and we hope to be back the rest of the way. There's quite a bit of wind in the area. I wonder if that may have had an effect. Perhaps a little rain has affected things as well. There was an 80% chance of rain coming into today for Fort Wayne as Whitaker gets the ball across the timeline. Whitaker trying to split defenders. She does, weaving her way through traffic, and she puts it home. Cairo Whitaker putting on a show. As Demosthenes gets the ball across the timeline, heaves one, and she missed it, and a foul from behind. Or was it? Oh, that sure looked like Covington was pushed, and yes, that's the call. Bet O'Neill called for the foul. Covington true on the free throw. But how about the show that Cairo Whitaker has put on tonight? Another 20-plus point performance. Not as many threes this time, but getting it done with the dribble penetration as we've seen on the last possession. Shot clock is still a factor. There's about a 1, maybe 2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Maggie Coro with the basketball. They get the ball over to Engel, Caitlin Engel from Wapakoneta, Ohio. Over to Cora. Spinning around, 4 on the shot clock. Cora got to get it off. She did. And now the first half comes to an end. Or excuse me, the third quarter comes to an end. And Indiana Tech has a 27-point lead going in the fourth quarter. Back in a moment here on SummitCitySports.com.
From the first day, I felt very welcome at Indiana Tech.
I just really enjoy the classes and the vibe I get from all the other athletes and just the students here. Everybody's cool and everybody gets along really well.
I'm currently a senior, and since my freshman year, student life activities have really grown throughout campus, and there's so many ways that you can meet new people. You can go bowling, you can watch movies, and it's just really important to get involved on campus.
We have intramurals, anything from billiards to basketball. It's made student life very enjoyable.
I love Fort Wayne because there's always something going on, like festivals. I walk a bunch of the trails here locally. There's great restaurants. There's always something fun to do. You can never be bored here in Fort Wayne.
The school spirit at Indiana Tech is epic. It's everything. We had our first annual hockey game not too long ago. Everybody showed up, face paint, cowbells, Trojan hats, lawn gnomes. It was amazing. It makes it so worthwhile to be a Warrior. Go Warriors.
(78-51), Indiana Tech with a 27-point lead over the Tigers of Olivet Nazarene in Bourbonnais, Illinois. And it has been an outstanding performance for Cairo Whitaker, 28 points. I believe that's her season high. And the Warriors do have the ball to start the second half. They get the ball to Corinne Smith. That's knocked out of bounds. Inbound to Smith, and Covington's got it. Covington, the lob for Smith. Flips it in. Corinne Smith, the soft touch. And the Warriors are up to 80 points. Their lead is now 29. Olivet Nazarene came back from down 18 points as Bainey was able to get to the bucket. Poked away by Bet O'Neill into the hands of Dirks. O'Neill for three. It's off the mark. Battle for the rebound, and the Warriors have it. Juliana Burris comes up with the board. Here is Covington. Covington finds Smith. Smith puts it in. Corinne Smith with back-to-back buckets for the Warriors. Bainey backing in off the glass, and it's good. Worm finds Whitaker across the timeline, and Whitaker will dish it to the corner. Entry pass inside to Worm. She finds Covington. Covington is fouled. Olivia Dirks called for the foul, and another wholesale substitution. And that's out of bounds. Was that Whitaker? Just ran into her own bench. That was Whitaker. And she's up. That's the good news. She's still walking. That's some more good news. We do have a foul called against the Tigers. Callista Hellberg called for the foul. And it will be Warrior ball on the sideline. Covington trying to get it in. She does to Burris. And that pass gets away. Smith able to grab it. Tigers nearly force a turnover, but the Warriors get the ball back, and now a foul is apologized for the technical difficulties that we've had. It's going to be a Warrior win when all's said and done. Back come the Warriors down the floor. This is Whitaker. Whitaker up and under. Got it. 88-59, a 29-point lead for the Warriors. That putback is good. Brooklyn Marshall puts it home, and if I'm not mistaken, Whitaker is now over 30 points for the game, or at least right at it. That ball's out of bounds off the Warriors with 5:41 to play.
5 players enter the game for Olivet, Nazarene.
Here's Dirks across the timeline. Goes inside to Caroline Bainey. Bainey up with the left hand. That shot is short and ricochets out of bounds. Inbound goes to O'Neal. O'Neal throws up a jump shot, no good, and an offensive board pulled down by Caitlin Engel. This ball's out of bounds. Warriors take over. And now a whistle blows. Do we have a wet spot on the floor that needs to be dried up? Jesse Biggs was pointing at something, and so are some of the players for the Tigers. Oh, Kyra Whitaker might have been bleeding. She walks off the court, and now she's getting taped up. Juliana Burris will come in. Well, we certainly hope that Kyra is healthy. My guess is she's done for the night, at least from a health standpoint. Foul is called. Burris was fouled. And when I say from a health standpoint, I mean to just keep her healthy. My guess is that Jesse Biggs will pull her out of the game the rest of the way. 5:19 to go. Whitaker finished this game with about 30 points. We'll get you an update on that in just a second. Officially 30 points for Kyra Whitaker. So what a great game she'll have when this one's all said and done, as Burris is at the line and could not get that one to go. Second one's good. Little shot fake there by Engel. Engel fires a three. It's short. Chased down, though, by Anna Veek. Leaning in on the shot is Rollison, and the ball's out of bounds. And I believe that's Foy who's got the board. Back to the top of the key, that's Worm. Now check that, that's Covington, number 3. There's Worm cutting across the paint. Covington into the paint. And the jumper is good by Genevieve Decker. We do apologize for all the live stream problems. Had several power outages here at the Schaefer Center today. And luckily for the soccer teams, I believe, and for the soccer broadcasters, I think they're already done for the day. Just one game taking place. That was men's soccer against Michigan Dearborn. Indiana Tech did win that game, by the way. As Worm looks to put the ball in play, she finds Whitaker. Over to Worm, she finds Covington. And I do hope that they're not having similar problems over at the Parkview Sport One Ice House, as Covington had to grab that one. Indiana Tech has a men's hockey game tonight against Concordia Ann Arbor. Decker gets fouled. I believe that's slated to start at 5:30.
Genevieve Decker to the free throw line to shoot 2 for the Warriors.
And Decker's free throw comes up short. Second one also comes up short. Little shot fake there by Engel, and a foul is called on the entry pass. Erica Foy called for the foul. That's her third of the game. Third team foul this quarter against the Warriors. Draper with the pass. Baseline drive and a foul is called.
Foul on the Warriors, Erica Foy. That is her fourth.
Looks like the foul's been called on Erica Foy. Well, like I said, I hope they're not having power surges over at the Parkview Sport One Ice House like we've had today. That's where Indiana Tech is playing their men's hockey game. That's supposed to start in about 18 minutes. Probably in the pregame show right now. As Bet O'Neill fires a three, and it's good. Indiana Tech on top by 26. Foy across the timeline. Tough catch and then a foul. It was Covington who caught the pass. Check that, it was Worm who caught the pass. Jamie Finn called for the foul, native of Oak Creek, Wisconsin. And Indiana Tech will send in a sub as Corinne Smith will come into the game. At the free throw line is Bethany Worm. And she'll shoot a pair of free throws with a minute 54 to go. Warriors did struggle from the free throw line early in last night's game. They were able to knock their free throws down, though, as the game went on. Second one's good for Worm. Official line so far for Indiana Tech is they're 19 for 29 from the free throw line, as that three ball is good. Jamie Finn knocks it down. The feed to Covington. And Decker with a shot fake. Able to get the ball, I believe, to Foy. Wide open is Worm. She'll fire a three. In and out. Offensive board. Putback is no good. Foy almost had the putback. Dirks lets it fly. A three ball. It's good. Olivia Dirks. The clock winding down. It's now under a minute. Across the timeline, and that ball's out of bounds. Looks like Jenna McFarland's going to go in for the Warriors. Back across the timeline comes Rollison. Over to Peters. Peters tries to feed it inside. That ball's out of bounds. And Tech will send in a bunch of subs. Wide open down on the other end of the floor is number 34, Lauren Barton. Three ball on the way is good. Kendall Rollison from downtown. A nice little comeback effort being put together by the Tigers. It's going to fall short in the end, though, as a foul is called. 22 seconds to go. This is Bree Dawson at the line to shoot two. And Dawson a little long on that first one. Comes up short on the second one. And here come the Tigers down the floor as Rollison missed it. It's corralled by the Warriors, and we're going to have a jump ball. Possession arrow keeps it with the Tigers. Long three, short. Barton with the rebound, surrounded by defenders. And I'll give these Tigers credit. They keep on fighting until the end, but when it's all said and done, Indiana Tech is the winner. Indiana Tech has their fourth straight victory, 96-76. They'll have their conference opener coming up this Wednesday against Siena Heights, and we'll have that for you. Another broadcast of Indiana Tech Warriors basketball brought to you by SummitCitySports.com. That'll be followed by men's basketball, Indiana Tech versus Siena Heights for their conference opener. But Indiana Tech women go to 4-1 on the season. And our Parkview Sports Medicine player of the game is Kyra Whitaker. 30 points in this game. 3 straight games she scored over 20 points. Kyra Whitaker, your Parkview Sports Medicine player of the game. And that will do it from here at the Schaefer Center. 96-76, Indiana Tech wins over Olivet Nazarene. They're 4-1 on the season. For my cameraman, Ahmad Williams, this is Thad Goff saying so long. You have been watching Indiana Tech women's basketball. This broadcast has been brought to you by SummitCitySports.com.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a warrior. Want to know what it means to be a warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a warrior's shoes.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our camera. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
You want to know what's possible at Indiana Tech? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a warrior.